Hey guys, welcome to Late Night on Base. I'm your host, Bill the Bull. Today's episode is brought to you by BTFD, a meme coin on base with a simple premise. When you see a giant red candle flash on your screen, don't be alarmed. Buy the effing dip. Today we're joined on the pod by the founder of AYB, Captain. And I think you will really enjoy this episode. Not only do we get to know more about the AYB project, but we also get to know more about Captain and his experience in the space and how passionate he is about this whole industry and especially about building and creating something on the base ecosystem. So stay tuned and sit back and relax, and we hope you enjoy the episode. Captain, how you doing, man? Welcome to Late Night on Base. It's a pleasure to have you. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Dude, good. I'm excited. I'm really excited to have you on. Have the AYB team on. This is really cool because you deserve a lot of credit for jumping on this podcast and doxing yourself. As the main lead dev of this project, I think that speaks volume to who you are as a person, and I think your community is going to love hearing who you are, what you're about, and just about the project. And so yeah, I'm just grateful to have you on. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. And yeah, when it comes to, you know, I say this a lot in our talks that we're looking to build things as much as that's like almost a death sentence when it comes to meme coins. You want to talk about the meme, the content, the excitement. But I've actually been in crypto for quite a while, over 10 years now. And I was in it because I really see the potential of all this stuff it's going to do. Honestly, everything I thought's going to happen, I thought would happen 10 years ago. So I'm constantly playing catch up. So I got into this because I actually want to build some cool stuff too, which is, again, like I say, meme coin world, you don't want to talk about that too much. Really, we love the content, we love our character, and we're really pushing that front as well. But we think the staying power of anything in crypto, if you want to be around for over 2 years or more, in my opinion, you got to have at least something, either the best content or something that applies to crypto. So that's what we're looking to build. But yeah, really excited to be here and be able to talk about more than just the meme. That's why I dox myself. You're not going to see many meme coins doxing because a lot of them are just the meme. Just they don't know when they might end. For us, we're looking at building something that's going to be around for a little while longer.
And that's what separates the cream from the crop, so to speak. And that's why taking the chance to be on a podcast, taking the time to dox and putting the effort behind it speaks volumes, and it's going a long way. And I know it won't go unnoticed from not only just your community, but from the outsiders looking into invest. So really cool to have you a part of this. So let me just ask you. We're going to be on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. So there's a lot of people that may be listening to this podcast for the first time that have no idea whatsoever what AYB is. So for the newcomers, why don't you just, if you briefly could explain kind of what the project is and a little bit about the lore, so to speak.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, there's AYB, all your base are belong to us is the meme. It means a lot to different people. I usually use it as a gauge if someone's over or under 30, if they know the meme, because it was the original meme. It's the OG meme before the internet. It was a meme. And it kind of led a little bit as a rallying cry for a social movement. And that's how I remember it. But everyone remembers it a little bit differently. Some people don't know it at all. Some people just remember it through games, through StarCraft. All your base belong to us. It applies to a lot of gamers, kept it going. But it's so viral that it's in the minds of not only me. Like the first thing I thought of when I thought of base making its own chain was this meme. But the base developers thought of this meme when they made the chain. Like it applies to a whole generation of people. It's included in the zero block of base chain itself. How cool is that? That
So
the
cool.
chain like Avalanche, Arbitrum, Solana, none of these they don't give anything to memes really. They make it harder, if anything, for memes to thrive. but Base actually put a meme as like a little Easter egg into the zero block. Funny, I'm sure we'll get into this, but I didn't even know that when I launched it. That's how alive the meme is. I just launched it because I remember the meme, and Jesse had to tell me himself. Jesse told us at a conference, he's like, you know your memes in zero block, right? I'm like,
Wow.
I was like, no. Instant double in price after that. Yeah, we didn't even know. It was like an Easter egg, and no one had seen it for like 6 months.
That's incredible. No, we're gonna get deep into that. I think, one of the things I noticed about your project is not only the loyal community members that you do have, you guys are really thriving. You guys are creating, a really solid price structure, and one thing I noticed is you guys launched on Base before basically most projects. I don't know if you were the first, but I know you were one of the first before the hype came. Is
We
that
weren't the
correct?
first, but I love that because I had to go against the crowd a little bit to get this launch going. I'd say maybe 20% of the people that, I was just going to stealth launch this completely, just to like the meme. But we held back 3 days because we knew a bunch of builders. We've been building the space for a few years. So I just told a couple and they're like, hold on. We have a lot of builders that want to get in on this. So we waited a few days. And these are builders. These aren't just like you're just small investors. I had pushback. I had probably, like I said, 25% pushback on like why Base because it was so quiet. Um, I had a good feeling then. I still have a good feeling, but Base is growing very fast. It's going to bring the inflow of all the capital. Let's put it this way: all the people that said were wondering, and I would say 75% of those people, I'm the guy that told them 10 years ago to get into crypto, and I told them to go on Coinbase when they got into crypto because I said it's the safest. So I know, at least I feel like at this point, I know, being in it this long, where the money is flowing through, and it's flowing through Coinbase. I mean, I've been saying it for 10 years, and it still continues to be that. So I was amazed myself that A, I got any pushback, and that B, that other people weren't already building here during that quiet time. And that's the best time. It's like people ask me at that time, I was like, yeah, I would rather be a big fish in a small pond than, a big fish or a small fish in an ocean.
I think you deserve credit for, having the foresight, right? Like I can imagine you got a lot of pushback because no one was really launching anything on Base last year. You launched in December, right? Or was it late December,
December.
around December? Yeah. So around that time, Base was quiet. Base was not, people just didn't really think of it. It's still, there are other chains with more activity, but kudos to you for having the foresight of thinking with your experience of where the industry is heading and where it's going, and that's through Coinbase. And I absolutely agree with you. When I decided to do this podcast, this just recently came, I am envisioning where Coinbase and Base itself is going to be 3, 5 years down the line, and especially this bull market. I think Base is going to be the top layer two by far. And that's through because of Coinbase. Coinbase is the most dominant institution in America. A lot of everyone who's retail comes through Coinbase. To me, it's the safest exchange publicly traded. They're building something what I believe Ethereum should have.
I used to
Low,
call it the bank. I used to
yes,
say Coinbase is the bank. And then that's how I
absolutely.
describe in traditional terms to people that are just getting into crypto. I'm like, I can't find a safer place in Coinbase for an on ramp or off ramp. So that's what I've always recommended, literally for 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, like my parents, right? They're as retail as you can get. They will only dabble with Coinbase. You think they're gonna go put their money on some like offshore exchange where you need KYC and no,
And don't do it. I
absolutely
don't
not.
recommend they do it at all, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think, you deserve credit for having the vision of seeing where the industry is heading before literally anybody I knew. So that's pretty remarkable. So let me ask you this to transition to the base questions. What are you most excited about? I guess, with the on-chain summer initiatives that Jesse's now pushing, for the next like 3 or 4 months, what are you most excited about base and what do you feel is going to transpire when it comes to the base ecosystem as a whole?
Well, we're bringing a lot of users. A lot of the projects are building things right now. So there's cycles built in. Like I've been in this for a long time. I used to actually not understand cycles. And I used to think I was like smarter than the person Satoshi, that came up with our cycles. You could do, instead of doing a halving and having sharp drop offs every 4 years, you could do a gradual drop off and a linear or a gradual curve instead of a sharp drop off that literally built in cycles. And it made no sense to me. Like, if you're so genius, right? You're creating a perfect math system. Why create bull and bear markets into your perfect financial system? I think I see it now that when the money's good, the job, responsibility of the project is to get the money. When the bear market happens, the responsibility of the project is now building. So we have these different cycles. Right now, it seems a little quiet in base. There's a lot that needs to be built on base. There's a lot of really cool things everywhere else I see in the crypto market that don't exist yet on base. So when it's quiet, that's when all the projects are building. When it's loud, I can almost promise you're not going to get any good, cool new stuff from a project unless they built it when it was quiet, right? So that's what these cycles are for. I'm excited to see what's been built in the next phase cycle. I see a lot of projects. What you're doing, you're building. Like there's a bunch of, that's to me like the almost quantum effect. There's exponential, but then when like 4 or 5 exponentials, right? Like AYB is growing exponentially, you're growing exponentially, Toshi, TYBG, we're all growing exponentially, and then we hit and combine efforts. Like now you have like what's quantum exponential, right? Like that's what base season is going to come to be, and yeah, I think a lot of people are building quietly.
Absolutely. I think like I enjoy the quiet times as well. In the times when the market's slow, that's when builders can build. And I think, we're blessed to kind of see and foreshadow. You were earlier than me, but to foreshadow where base is going to come or going to be. And I think what Jesse and his team have created with the smart wallets is just, to me, the writing's on the wall. If you want to onboard retail, 100 million users or a million users, you have to make it seamless. Retail, like your grandma and your grandpa, they're not going to bridge to a layer two using something like Orbiter and then have to write down their seed phrase. It's just you're speaking like the craziest language. But if you make it seamless, such as the Coinbase wallet, where I can now, send AYB to my friend with a text, game changer.
Yeah, that's everything that Coinbase is doing. They're very focused on getting. Yeah, I always use an example of grandma, your aunt, your uncle onto crypto. People that would normally call you for any advice or how do I do this. These are all barriers to entry, right? If you want to, yeah, we don't want to be in that equation. We want them to figure it out. So credit card buying and all of this stuff. Base is heavily invested in making sure that works. I also don't want to. Coinbase is great. Coinbase wallet's working great. But I don't mean it's crypto in general. I'm a crypto guy. Like I don't. We're on base because it's the best place to be right now. But I'm also just a crypto fan. So I do want to point out that the whole just ecosystem is getting better and better with time. So as much as I love Coinbase, you can use Base Network with other wallets, with like OKX wallet, Bybit wallet. Some Ravi wallet has been highly recommended to me. I do want to point out Base does charge their fees, their convenience fees. I highly recommend them when you do say to your aunt or uncle, or you're going to buy in once or twice. Coinbase, best. That's what I always go with. But if I'm talking to you, I'm probably not going to tell you to use Coinbase Wallet right now, and hopefully this doesn't get me in trouble. But Coinbase Wallet is the convenience wallet for sure, and that's absolutely the one. Whenever I recommend to anyone getting involved in crypto the first time, I say use Coinbase. Safety, security, absolutely over a convenience fee. But yeah, keep in mind that when building, especially, it's not necessary. There's a lot of things on in crypto in general that are building out very well, not just the base ecosystem.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this: like, I think I want to, and I'm sure your community wants to know who Captain is. Let's go deep onto who you are as a person. What's like, you said you've been in crypto for a while. Tell us a little bit about your backstory on crypto. When did you get into it? Why'd you get into it?
Yeah, no one's dug into the backstory much. I've been involved for over 10 years. I studied economics and math in college, so I was early days. I'm 38 now, so before crypto, I was studying economics. So everyone came to me with crypto stuff, like, "Hey, what's going on with Bitcoin? Hey, what's going on with Bitcoin?" So I was one of those, like, I should have actually got in earlier from the amount of people that were asking me questions. But I kind of just got in a little bit here and there, right? Like, wrote it up and down a few times. So I've been 3 cycles. This is going to be my fourth cycle. Um, been always on the trading side. First 2 cycles, not paying attention really, just it is there, whatever. The past cycle, past 2 years, been on the builder side, full force, going to all the conferences, meeting people, making a lot of connections, especially the kind of connecting east and west is kind of been my focus the past year or two, which is funny because I didn't know I'd work in this industry 3, 4 years ago, and I had this feeling that the next bull run would be a connection out of east and west. Because I would see in the last bull run, I would see the differences. You could see the markets wake up. You knew when, oh, that's, I what was it, EOS and OMG and some of these, I felt like were Asian coins because I'd see their charts pump when Asia's awake. And then you'd see American coins pump during the day. So it wasn't quite global and as it should be. So my feeling is this cycle, everyone's finally connecting. And I saw it. I actually got to witness it this past kind of bear market, going to all the conferences, that East and West is connecting. I don't think you're going to see in the market trends as much of that spread between East and West markets waking up. Whether or not that's like a boom, I don't know, but I just had a feeling that I want to be a part of that. So that's a bit of my background. Is I've been working a bit of the kind of East and West connection between crypto projects, DeFi. I worked in DeFi the past year. I think at the end of the day, meme coins are DeFi cryptocurrencies. So that's kind of a background of what I'm trying to bring to the table. While doing DeFi, I met like the founder of Bonk, for example, before that one really took off, and I was very impressed. He's one of the people that I remember after that meeting telling my partner, like, "Oh, I went in like I thought it was a joke. It's a meme coin, but this guy's the smartest guy I've talked to." Out of all these other like layer ones, layer twos, or whatever we're doing, yada yada, big talk. The meme coin actually was doing all the DeFi work. So that's a bit of my background. You know, I have a solid base in crypto, and I've realized the meme is necessary, and I chose a meme.
That's awesome to hear kind of like the story about your past. It's real quick. It is funny, just on a tangent that you're talking about Omise Go. I remember in 2017, that's when I got really into the meme. Or not at that time. It was the shit coin cycles. Like, yes, you could say, the Asian coins like Neo, Mise Go, Walton Chain brings back good memories. Definitely lost everything that cycle, but that was a fun
Yeah, I mean, hey, we're gambling at that point. It's something
totally.
we don't know. I knew I was gambling on an Asian coin that I can't do due diligence on a
Oh man,
Chinese coin. Like,
totally, totally.
yeah,
I fell for the McDonald's hype marketing from Walton Chain, and it was like an intern posting like they had a hamburger, and they said they had a partnership, and it was just like their team taking a photo at McDonald's. It was good times. But no, I think on a serious note, though, Captain, I think it's a great story what you shared, because it shows that meme coins are more than just, you know, quote unquote, a fun little stupid project, I guess you could say. It's not. It's founded by real integrated smart individuals such as yourself, such as the bonk people. Some of the smartest people have seen meme coins are culture. Memes are more, and DeFi. Memes are more than just a silly picture. And so the people and teams behind it are the real deal. And I think from an investor standpoint, it's sometimes hard to see that because they just don't know what's going on, because founders like yourself don't ever really discuss about who they are as a person. So someone with your pedigree, if I'm from the outside looking in, I'm like, wow, Captain is extremely articulate, extremely knowledgeable, and he is promoting and helping build the AYB community I want in on this new economy because I know he's not some like 18-year-old dev in some mom's basement, right? So
But
I,
don't knock them. Don't knock them. By the way, there's some
definitely
great
not.
18-year-old devs in
Hey,
mom's basement.
you know what?
We met some of these like huge projects. I'm surprised. We some of these big ones, they're like high school kids. Very
No, I mean,
impressed. Yeah.
no, it's super impressive. I mean, you have the diamonds in the rough where it's like, legitimate, honorable people who might not have the pedigree, but they're willing to work hard. Definitely won't knock them. But then there's also, the scammers, right? And so it's just a mix in
Yeah.
crypto. But
Well, it helps having been through a couple of cycles. I like to point out, I love this industry so much because I've been in it a while, and I don't think egos survive.
yeah,
As much as people think crypto's a bunch of ego-filled assholes, it's really not because they don't last. They might be the loudest for like a short burst, but really the egos fade out, and everyone in crypto that I know now has a story like yours, has a story like mine, has a story like we all have. We've all been burned at this
mhm,
point pretty bad. So if you're still here and you're actually willing to do something, you're one of the good ones, right? The people that are just here money hungry, here for profit, um, they leave when there's no profit.
yeah,
So it's really cool. You meet the best people now.
yeah. And I think now, especially compared to 2017, collaboration is key. I remember back in the day, no one really wanted to collaborate. It was more PvP. It's like every person for themselves. But as the industry matures and grows, it's collaboration amongst different teams. That's why I love Fruit. Um, it seems like more people are more mature, and they're willing to collaborate. And that's how in the industry we grow. It's not winner takes all. It's we all want the same thing, and that's financial freedom for everybody in a new economy.
So I love game theory. So I actually, whether it's winner take all feeling or if it's let's all collaborate feeling, they're all because of the game's incentives that are in place. Base has set up a good incentive system, but not only that, Base is doing the top level work. We all have faith, right? Everyone building has faith that there is going to be a huge inflow of people. And that's what you need. That's psychology. That's what makes us collaborative. So from the top down, Base is doing the right work, saying, hey, you guys build, we'll bring you the users. And as long as we all continue to have that faith, we'll continue to be partners and friendly. I'm sure a time will come when there's, any ecosystem will have it, when there's going to be some animosity. We saw it a bit, to be honest, when this last launch crew came through, and then the dust settled. And it tends to be the people that collaborate tend to stick around, is what I'm seeing. But I'm actually new on this side of things, right? So this is my internal experience from the builder side. Uh, it's been a great experience so far.
Absolutely. And I'm excited. I'm this is new for me, the podcast side. So we're all experiencing new things together. So well, Captain, I want to ensure, these recordings don't go too long because, the viewers want to have something easily digestible. So before we end off, is there anything you'd like to add, final words to your AYB community or just in general to base?
For me, just I'd love for everyone to use our products, use everything we're building. I know, like I said, it's almost a death sentence to talk about building in the meme ecosystem. So check out our community. Our community is great, but I really try to nurture the building side of the community, ambassador side, helping promote. Really big about growth. So come over, check out our community, and for me personally, very excited if you do use anything that we've built. So we have a prediction game. We have a bunch of tools like a launch pad. Actually, if the community wants to launch any projects, we're geared to be the number one launch pad. I know a few of the projects launching launch pads soon, but we're going to have the best, and we'll help anyone launching reach a market. So yeah, come reach out to us, join our community.
That's amazing. And I think hopefully for those listening into the podcast or watching on YouTube, you guys have gotten a better sense as to who Captain is and the type of, pedigree that he has and the experience to help lead the community of AYB. And as an outsider looking in, I'm definitely impressed by you. And I highly recommend others checking it out. So if you're listening to this on Spotify or one of the podcasts, please come to the YouTube channel where you'll find all the links to AYB. We'll post the Telegram link, and we'll also post the Twitter link along with podcast link as well. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you next time.